In chapter 7, A Simple Problem, we find out that there is an eel or worm or something under his skin, and it's protruding about a half an inch. And then at its thickest is about a thumb, and it zigzags all the way from his rib cage past the belt of his pants. Adelgis starts to tell us what's going on, and that Adelgis is actually incubating something for his father, and it needs to feed on magic. Zaxis' first response is, let's cut it out. Volk, give me your sword. Let's cut this thing out right now.
I've seen some horror movies. Zaxis has a point. Incubating some sort of mythical creature underneath our skin, I wouldn't be against cutting it out. It's not supposed to be there, but Adelgis is really, really adamant that he is doing this for his father, and he's going to see it through, and his father's going to be impressed with him at the end of it for carrying out this whole incubation period.
I don't think there's ever a good movie where something that's growing under your skin ever turns out in a good manner. So
the type of creatures that would grow underneath skin just lends itself to be something disgusting.
Exactly. Adelgis does mention that he is very hungry. He needs to eat, and that's more likely what the problem with him is. Volk runs downstairs to get Adelgis something to eat, and he runs into Atty, and she actually is kind of upset with him because they all just took off and didn't help Guild out to get the horses put away, the carriages put away, all that stuff, and that they just ran into the inn. Atty does mention that she's actually trying to talk with Volk because she wants to get help with her sorcery, because she can't do any kind of healing magic, and Volk is turning into like an apprentice teacher, I guess. I don't know if that's the thing, but teacher
a savant
apprentice
of some sort.
Yeah. he's gotten good at analyzing things and kind of helping them towards it. We'll take Hexa as a good example of, hey, how about you use daggers with your poison rather than just trying to waft your poison to your enemy. Atty does want to speak to him in private next.
Flirtatious.
Aw, go look at you, Volk.
The young teens just starting out.
So then Zaxis interrupts because they're basically right outside of the inn room that they've got, and Zaxis interrupts by shouting in the room to Adelgis, "Take off your pants. I want to see how long it is." And as Atty stated out there, like, I can only imagine what she's thinking about. What they're talking about.
The secondhand embarrassment of Volk just standing there. You know what he's actually going for, but you can't explain it. So you just have to hope she doesn't take it wrong.
Like, there's no way of coming back from that. And you know what? At least he can shadow step and just shadow steps into the room with a bowl of stew. And here's another little win for Volk, that he can bring the stew with him while he shadow steps back into the room, because that would have been kind of sad to lose the stew. With the stew, Adele just kind of downs it. So this is definitely not Eowyn's stew from Lord of the Rings. This is actually edible. And Zaxis asks how long it's been since he last ate, and Adele just says it's been over a day.
And I'm always curious with this, is he forgetting to eat? Is he just so preoccupied that he forgets to eat? Or, does the mythical creature prevent him from feeling hunger? It seems to want to feed on something. So it's a curious situation. It's very, Parasite-like, of trying to feed off of his nourishment.
At that point, you would think if it's trying to feed off of his nourishment, it'd want to keep him fed, because the better he's fed, the better he is, I guess.
Yeah, it's strange.
Zaxis does quip at Adelgis as far as eating, and he's eating for two, and Felicity actually kind of gets upset with his comments.
And she blinds everyone, which is a fair reaction. There's probably not really much she can do, so you use what you've got at that point.
And kind of kudos to her, because she's trying to defend her Arcanist. He's kind of down on the ground right now, so she's trying to make sure that they're not kicking him too much.
Standing up to the bullies.
Yep. All right. And with that concludes this week's episode. You can find us on Podbean, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, basically anywhere that you can listen to podcasts. We are also on YouTube. And if you want to join in on the fun, you can find us on the Facebook group at Frith Guild Podcast. And if you want to reach out to us, you can contact us at frithguildpod@gmail.com or send us a message on Facebook or comment on Facebook. In addition to all of that, we're going to also put all of the links to everything down below, including the Frith Chronicles fandom. And we want to give a huge shout out to them, as we do look up a lot of our information for mystical creatures in there. And I know here with the soon release of the Kickstarter for the bestiary that Shaming Stovall is putting out, I know some information will be updated shortly, so we'll just got to keep an eye on that. Thank you for listening. Did you have anything else to add?
Excited to get to the tourney. We're making our way to the tourney, and I'm very excited for it.
Woo. All right. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you next time.